Is here with us in the studio. And Kate, let's begin by taking a look at those comments made by Iran's President Hassan Rouhani. We've talked about the reaction from other countries, but how has the business community reacted to those comments today?
Hi, Laura. The only way to describe the reaction really is cautious optimism. Business leaders in Davos welcomed the speech, but said they were in no rush to start investing in Iran. The economy there, of course, is in desperate need of a boost. GDP has been steadily shrinking, and oil exports have fallen to a third of 2011 levels. So the impact of Rouhani's speech could be crucial. Claire Murphy explains.
It's the first time an Iranian leader has come to Davos in a decade. President Rouhani's central message: the Islamic Republic is open for business.
The events and developments of the past 6 years in the global economy have shown that no one can live alone. No country can solve its problems on its own whilst disregarding others.
On the sidelines, Rouhani met with Western oil executives, promising a new model for oil investment by September. Many business leaders remain cautious but upbeat.
Sanctions against Iran still exist, and as long as they exist, we cannot export or develop the Iranian market. That said, the fact that President Rouhani is in Davos and the nuclear talks have now resumed makes us more optimistic. I think that as soon as the sanctions are lifted, the market will take off.
Meanwhile, 5,000 kilometres away, Iran's vast gas reserves have been put on show. A tour for the media of an almost completed facility in the south of the country, aiming to illustrate to investors the energy sector's potential and attempting to attract overseas partners with the know-how to finalise production.
Let's move on now to Spain, where that sky-high unemployment rate shows no signs of reversing. It was stuck at just over 26% in the last 3 months of 2013, with the number of job seekers hitting 5.9 million. The economy did manage to squeak out of recession last year. Initial figures show growth of about 0.3% for the fourth quarter, but it hasn't been enough to create jobs. Analysts and the government, though, are optimistic that the tide has been turned.
We believe we are going through a stabilization process in the jobless numbers. It's a fact. We are still close to 6 million people out of work. But even so, we see signs of improvement. We have to maintain that small improvement. We are aware jobs are not being created, but we think there will be net job creation in 2014, and it will be a good year for job creation.
Markets now, we're seeing red across the board. Some disappointing manufacturing data from both the US and China has sent shares down. Wall Street trading in negative territory there. The Argentine peso, I just want to point out, plunged 11% against the dollar in Thursday trading. That's the sharpest one-day drop in over a decade. Earlier this week, Argentina's central bank spent $120 million trying to defend that currency on the market, but seemed to let it slide today. We saw a bad day for European shares as well. The CAC 40 here in Paris closing down over 1%. Germany's DAX down nearly the same, despite some new data showing that factory orders in Germany are flooding in this January. Take a look at some of the other business headlines now. For the second year in a row, Toyota was the world's best-selling automaker in 2013. The Japanese firm said its overall sales rose 2% to 9.98 million vehicles and expected to top 10 million this year. Toyota beat out General Motors and Volkswagen for the top spot. The German Volkswagen has vowed to surpass its rivals by 2018. Staying in the auto sector, Nissan has rolled out its first new Qashqai model off the production line at the Sunderland plant in the UK. The firm expects to produce a new car every 61 seconds, with 300,000 expected this year. More than 500 jobs have been created at the factory to produce the second version of that car, making Nissan the largest automotive manufacturer in the UK. China's Lenovo has bought IBM's low-end server business for $2.3 billion. Lenovo already took over IBM's laptops in 2005, and in 2012 overtook Hewlett-Packard as the world's largest PC maker. IBM is shifting more energy to its cloud storage business and recently announced a $1 billion investment in its Watson supercomputer. And Nokia continues its fall. It sold 29% fewer mobile handsets last year compared to 2012. Its network equipment unit NSN recorded a 22% plunge in sales. Nokia was once the world's leading producer of mobile devices, but in November agreed to sell that division to Microsoft for nearly $5.5 billion. That's all the news for now. I'll send it back to you in the studio, Laura.
Thank you, Kate. And Kate will be back with another